here with Jake, Daniel and James, the chefs at Florentina Events, who make amazing food for couples on their big day. How long have you been in business?
So Florentina's been going, this is Florentina's 6th year, we started off just me on my own, and now there's 8 of us, plus a band of 30 or 40 part-time event staff as well. So I decided to set up Florentina because there's a bit of a gap in the market at the time, and more about wanting to give restaurant quality food in an event scenario, whether it's a wedding or a dinner party or any other private event. So I decided to set that up coming from the back of working in restaurants, and that's working all over Norfolk, a bit in Cambridge and London, and working privately. Decided to sort of come back to Norfolk and sort of set up a catering company.
What is your catering style?
So catering style is not necessarily a catering style which we do at Florentina. Predominantly it's traditional, modern British cooking, but because we're not a sort of catering service what has set menus at set prices, what a customer has to choose from, it's very much someone who's getting married would come to us and say, we got engaged in Australia and we'd like to have an Australian element, and we've been on holiday to Japan, we'd like to have a Japanese element and keep some British Norfolk produce as well. So we're sort of incorporating loads of different stuff, and every single menu is completely different.
Is there a specific cuisine that you specialise in personally, or?
I would like to say fish is more my speciality in terms of cooking, but in terms of everything we sort of cooking loads of that. For example, this week we're cooking a vegan retreat menu, which is 4 days, breakfast, lunch and dinner full of vegan food, and then we've got more of a traditional British dinner party, and then we've got 2 wedding menu tastings as well, which are having, one of them's more Asian style and one of them's more traditional British, so every single week we're doing those different.
Something different.
Yeah.
What new trends are you seeing?
In terms of trends for the last sort of year, this year and last year as well, I would say the informality is probably the most popular thing, and people don't want to have a formal, traditional, as you would assume, wedding breakfast, which is a sit-down 3-course meals.
Yeah.
Nowadays it's more casual, laid-back, sharing style foods.
What is the most interesting menu you have ever done?
So a couple of months ago we done a corporate event for Ted Baker, and they were having a senses dinner, which was all about your senses, and they had the whole meal was incorporated around that. And so every single course we all done something completely different. One of them, for example, they ate blindfolded, and all these different weird elements of foods, they had to sort of guess what everything was, but eat it all blindfolded. The dessert, for example, we done a savoury looking dessert, but it was completely sweet, so we done like a sweets full English breakfast, which consists of like chocolate brownie, black pudding, sweet baked beans, crisp sweet dry cured bacon, and loads of other different elements in there as well, just to recreate a dessert on
It's really different.
that.
How long away from the date should you book?
So in terms of booking, most bookings tend to come in between 1 year and 2 years in advance, because the wedding industry works so far ahead. People are booking their venues like 1 year, 2 years in advance. Even now we're getting ones for 2020, because it has to be sort of planned so far ahead. We're sort of planning now for 2019 predominantly at the moment.
Do you provide silverware, linens and that kind of thing?
Yeah, we organise it on behalf of the bride and groom. We don't provide it ourselves. We use a hire company, but we deal with all that, and we've got samples, tables in our offices and our tasting rooms where the customer will come in, and when we've designed a menu for them, they come in and have a menu tasting, and then choose exactly what colour napkins, tablecloth, style of glassware, linen, crockery, cutlery as well, and so we speak to one of the hire companies and sort it out on their behalf.
Okay, do you provide servers?
We do, yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. So all part of the food service is we've got a big band and portfolio of lots of different waiting staff that work in hospitality industry, what kind of work for us on weddings and events, and sort of as part of the serving team.
Do you do a tasting?
Yes, we do. So every single wedding we do. Once we've designed a menu for them, they come in here into our tasting room, and we sit down and completely cook all the food that they've chosen, and they come in to perfect the menu as such.
Perfect. Are you able to cater for special dietary requirements in children?
Yes. I would say nowadays, if we do a wedding for 100, 10% of those, 15% of those are just dietary requirements nowadays.
Yeah.
There's vegans, vegetarians, gluten-free people, dairy-free people, and loads of other different allergies. And dietary requirements, and we're sort of used to sort of creating different options for them.
What piece of advice would you give to a couple planning their wedding? It doesn't have to be catering related.
Enjoy it, and don't stress too much, and let the day run itself. Don't get too involved on the day. You see so often that a bride especially is more worried about what the time is on the wedding day than she is about enjoying the moment.
Yeah. Where did you train?
I trained at the Assembly House before I started here, so that gave me lots of experience in like bulk food, sort of like wedding events, also restaurant style as well.
Yeah.
So that sort of helped towards my career.
Perfect, thank you. What's your favourite food to make for a wedding?
I like the table picnic style, so they get sort of choice of meat and fish on board, and then a couple of sides.
Yeah.
And they can also help themselves to like chicken and fish.
What is the most frequently asked question?
A lot of people worry about the timings at events and stuff like that. You want it to be on perfect on point. So yeah, lots to do with timings.
What is the most common mistake when choosing a wedding caterer?
I think what couples mistake they make is they end up thinking of their guests more, and they are more worried about what food their guests would like, what food everyone else would like, than worried about what they like themselves. At the end of the day, when a couple is paying for people's meal out, technically, they should have the food what they want. It's their day.
Yeah.
And unless they're going completely really weird and wacky and out there on the food they're eating, if it's just normal sort of food which you find in most restaurants, and which is sort of generic sort of food, which is quite normal, people aren't fussy on food and have whatever you want, not what your guests want.
Yeah. Well, thank you so much for agreeing to talk to me about the work you do.
You're welcome.
Thank you.